Hey, this is Coach Taylor with the Championship Football Coaches Clinic podcast. And I'm making this video today because I want to talk about Ray Lewis Jr., the son of Ray Lewis, the Hall of Fame linebacker. I coached football at Virginia Union University, and I was pretty heavily involved in the recruiting of most of the players that we brought in. And the year that Ray came to us, I can remember the kids were outside of our locker room, which at the time was on Lombardi Street. And, it was a makeshift locker room. And it was like a big crowd of kids like waiting to get their equipment in line. And there was this one kid who I did not know, but he stood out. He stood out because of his charisma, his energy, the way that he talked, the way that people listened to him. And I was like, who is this kid? And I can't remember, but later on down maybe that same day, I guess I'd asked the head coach, Coach Mark James. I said, who is this kid? He goes, that's Ray Lewis's son. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. But he might have been the first kid that I've ever met whose dad was famous. But you would never know it. You never, ever would have known that his dad was Ray Lewis, the football player. And there was a particular game. It was our homecoming. I was I think at that time, the D-line coach. I was on the field and I saw a guy with the black leather jacket. And he just looked like, a regular guy. He's wearing jeans. And I thought he was a former player that might have played there, at Virginia Union. And someone comes to me and goes, Troy, that's Ray Lewis. I was like, what? Like, it blew me away, like that Ray Lewis was there and was walking on the field, on the sidelines, everything. And you never would have known it. Like, there was no entourage. It was just, Ray. And he gave an impromptu speech to our team over on the softball field before the game. And one of our players from New Jersey, he videoed it. It's still out there. I mean, it was from the heart. It was touching. But one of the things I really wanted to tell people about Ray, or we just called him Ray, Ray Jr., Ray the Third, is how good of a kid he was. I can remember sitting in the film room on Sundays, and I like to sit next to him because, he had played at the University of Miami. He had played at Coastal Carolina. He was smart. He knew football. Like, it oozed from his being. And I would sit next to him and, I would say stuff, like, we got to run to the ball. We got to be like a pack of pit bulls. And he loved that stuff. Like, he got off on it. Like, he enjoyed being coached hard. He liked aggressive coaches. And I've said this before, like, you don't know the things that you say, how they can have an impact on people. And there was a kid in that room, and he was kind of like when I would say something, and I can remember Ray said to the kid, he goes, no, listen to him. He said, this is how the best coaches in the world coach. I was like, I heard him say that, and I was like, wow. Like, he didn't even mean, I don't even think he meant for me to hear that. But it was like he co-signed on me as a coach, as a high school coach in Richmond, Virginia, and as, a guy that coached 3 years of college football at Virginia Union, and how blessed we all were to have him play on our team, and such a competitor. I mean, we had a war with Virginia State, and they had a great football player that went to the NFL, Trent Cannon. And Trent Cannon's highlight of his career is hurdling over Ray Lewis's son. and he did. Trent Cannon, who ran a 4.340, was a return guy in the NFL, jumped over top of Ray Jr. and scored a touchdown. And that was the highlight of his career. It went viral. But Ray was such a competitor and such a great kid. Man, I loved him. He loved football. Um, but just I can still remember I was sitting behind him. He turned around and looked at me, and like he just loved being coached. He wanted to get better. And him saying that about me, a guy who was a high school coach, never coached major football, major big time football anywhere, a guy whose dad is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, for him to tell another kid, yeah, listen to this guy because he knows what he's talking about. I was like, wow. So, I found out about Ray passing away yesterday, and I texted one of his buddies that was on our team, Olu, who was a great football player from DC. I know they made music together. That I was sorry. And, to his family, I'm praying for y'all. And he was an amazing kid. And this is coming from a high school coach in Richmond, Virginia, that I loved your son. And I only knew him for one season. I only knew him for 10 games. And he made an impact on my life. And, he motivated me. Our coaches used to listen to Ray Lewis videos all the time and motivational speeches. But we had Ray Lewis's son played on our team, and he was a great kid. And he was a motivator himself. And he motivated a grown man. And I just wanted to make this video just to let everybody out there know, what he was like and the impact that he had on me. So this is Coach Taylor. If you need to get at me, at Coach Troy Taylor on Twitter. But I just thank the Lord for getting the opportunity to meet Ray Lewis III. And rest in peace.